Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound Podcast Channel on YouTube. I am, of course, Unfound's host, Ed Densel. As the title says, I will be going over the location where Ray Lepe's car was found a couple days later after his disappearance. Of course, we're presuming he disappeared on July 19th of 2002. So I'm going to give you both a satellite view and a street view of that location. And of course, I'll provide a little bit of analysis commentary as well. So right now you're looking at, and I don't know if the exact address, it might have been 24.5 East Romy Lane or something like that, but this is close enough for our purposes here, where this produce office was. Remember, to remind all of you that there were only two people who worked in the office. The owner, his name is Tim, and then Ray. And this particular week, Tim was out of town, I think on the East Coast, these days here in 2024. But so Ray was at the office, seemingly working there by himself for most, if not all, of that preceding week before his disappearance. And this red dot right here is that location. Technically, it's right here, this building right here. So allow me to zoom this in. You know, it has what Shelby, it was actually this part of the building, 1, 2 floors, and the produce office was actually on the second floor. And as you can see, I'm going to go to a street view. Something that we talked about away from the street. And I think you can now see what I mean. Here's East Romy Lane right here. And, you know, you got to, you know, what's there. So if people were driving by here, it's very understand that they would not have seen where it is kind of, like I said, tucked back in, parking lot here. Look at this over here. Everything, the parking lots are all kind of tucked back away from the street. Whereas I think when we normally think about these types of setups, buildings, business areas, these buildings are facing the street. So the parking is all parking in the front, parking in the back behind the buildings, but all the buildings are facing the street. That is not what's going on here. The entrance is different design here for whatever reason. So let's go down to the street view and get a better view of this. So I'll take the little orange computer. Anyway, to swivel this around to look this is that area. See this silver truck right here, back here in the back, and I'll zoom it in since there we go. Nice and clear now. I had with Alex when he was on Google Maps, I was on Google Maps at the same time. He described to me, because he was there that Monday, where this silver truck here is exactly where Ray's car was, and the office was up here on this second floor. So this is where Ray's car was sitting, I guess, by itself. Of course, we have to remember this is 20 years ago. Maybe the businesses here have changed. It's over 20 years ago. Not sure about parking for other businesses at the time, but right here is where Ray's car was. And you can see kind of not close to the street. Get maybe a little distorted because of the camera angle and the lens and everything. But you can easily see cars going by here either way. I'm not going to notice a car back in there, how long it was there. And I'm not really don't know. So we also have to remember Alex talking about there was a light bulb that they discovered had been unscrewed for some reason. The bulb still worked, but if you flip the light, it wouldn't come on. So for it to come on, it had to be maybe turned a quarter, a half, maybe even a full turn for it to come on. Is that suspicious? Could be, but I know it's very weird. In the condo that I live in here, have lived in for over 5 years, I will tell you, some of these bulbs that screw, maybe not the new like LED lights or whatever, but your old school incandescent lights, like the Thomas Edison type. It's weird. It does seem over time they somehow do sometimes loosen themselves to the point that they don't come on, and you just have to go in there and give it like a 16th of a turn and it'll come back on. Maybe due to vibrations or whatever else. So I've actually had that happen in my condo multiple times since I moved in here because this building was built in 1986. Maybe that has something to do with it. And those light fixtures were probably from 1986. So that's something to at least think about. Maybe suspicious, maybe not. Just hard to tell. But it was over here in this area on the first or second floor where this bulb was working. But all right, so let's take a look at something else. Given this is all tucked back away from the street, it also would make it more possible if something violent occurred. If Ray was coming out to his car, maybe he went down to Gonzalez, came back, had to go back to the business, and somebody jumped him. We can see why that would maybe be more possible, given that it was backed away from the street where the parking lot was. If that light bulb was out, on and on and on, I think we can certainly understand that. And by the way, Gonzalez, I'm not going to show it on the map. It's about 20 minutes away. I don't know how really important, how far it is away. Is that something I really need to show? Probably not. Walked away on his own. Well, telling you what to believe. I'm just going to give Bowman, I guess, an urban area very much. But he did get found eventually. Not quickly, but a year and a half. Not terrible for his family, but as I like to, every time I bring it up, I have to remind everybody, the average age of a disappearance we cover on Unfound is about the age of Ray's disappearance, about that 20 to 22 year age. So if Ray walked off and he ended up I gotta believe he would have been found by now. So that means we have to look at, well, could he have walked farther? Where is out of town? Well, you can see it right here. And it's about a mile. You know, you look at these fields. I don't know how they looked 20 years ago. But, you know, to get to this farmland, produce land, fruits and vegetables, it's about a mile walk. And if you're thinking, well, those are fields, though, surely somebody would notice that if a body was out. From the red dot to where these mountains start, the business and walk away. And I'm not saying it's certainly conceivable. Is it possible? Maybe. but that's something for you to decide for yourself. And I'm not sure. The facts really don't line up for any particular theory. There are a lot of possibilities. What theory you think is best given the facts. So there you go. Those are the locations for the disappearance of Ray Lepe, where the produce business certainly allowing maybe for some different foul play scenarios to be possible. I'm not saying you have to believe that. All right, so that's all I have. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it. Please subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Please consider hitting the join button below here on YouTube. And I think I will talk to you again very soon. Thanks for watching.